I finally solved the mystery. You're probably watching this video because you've been on your trading journey for a little while now. You might be overwhelmed, you might be frustrated, you might just be ready to give up. But I'm telling you, when I learned these 5 things and I started implementing them, my trading game changed for the better. I want to share with you guys today so that you can take away what you feel might work for you to see if you can get the same results. What's up? My name is Casey Jackson. Welcome to my little small corner on YouTube. I'm glad to have you here. I'm a registered commodity trading advisor with the National Futures Association. And here on YouTube, I make videos that show strategy and provide you guys advice as I've been on this trading journey for quite some time, 7 years to be exact. And I've learned a few things. I told you that I finally solved the mystery. I think I have. So in the beginning, trading was extremely difficult for me. I was overwhelmed with information. I didn't know what was right for me. Finally, through trial and error, I figured out 5 things that literally changed the course of my trading, that allowed me to make achievements that a lot of people don't make. And I want to share them with you today. So the first thing that I think that was major as far as my trading was concerned was understanding how to read the charts for myself. When I really spent some time on the charts and went through some books and really just got my reps in, right? So marking up a bunch of charts and calling my own trades is when I got more confident in myself and the market. It makes all the world of difference if you're able to go into a chart, understand it from the high end all the way down to the lowest time frame. You know, I get emails from people all the time asking me if I give signals. And while it might be convenient to do that for a lot of people, like at the end of the day, you want to be in control of your money, right? You want to be the one to be able to go hunt and to eat. And I wouldn't want to necessarily rely on my money being at the risk of someone else's analysis. Does that make sense? The more and more I started marking up charts, the more confident I felt about my own trades. You got to put in that work. And there's nothing that's going to allow you to bypass that but you taking the time, sitting down on a regular basis and learning how to mark up charts. If you are unfamiliar, peruse through this channel. There are hundreds of videos of analysis dating all the way back to like 4 years ago. So you should be able to find something. And whether it is this channel or it's not, go find something that resonates with you and really put your nose to the page and get into it. I think of it like exercising. So I've been exercising for a little over a year on a regular basis now. At first, I hated it. I hated going to the gym. I hated getting up early at like 6 in the morning to get to the gym to work out by 6:30 or 7 a.m. It was painful. My muscles were hurting. I was over it. I was tired, right? I would be sore after work. It was awful. But then there came this point where I started liking it. I liked how I felt afterward. I looked forward to going to the gym. But I had this steady hill, this steep hill to climb before I got to the point where I'm like, this is actually good. I actually enjoy this before I got comfortable. So that's just my little advice to you. Like, it's going to be hard. I am not saying it's going to be easy, but you have to do it in order to get comfortable to the point where you feel like, okay, I got this. The second thing that I will say that really transformed my trading was risk management. And I know it's probably easier said than done, and it's more than just understanding how to manage risk. But I didn't learn about risk until maybe about my 3rd year of trading. When you have a systematic approach to the market, it doesn't matter if you lose 4 trades, right? Because if you're only risking 1% of your account, but you go for setups that are 3-to-1, 4-to-1, all it takes is 1 trade to put you back into the positive. So it is a powerful thing to understand risk, to be able to understand how to calculate your own lot sizes, and to be able to determine what makes sense for your account, what your risk tolerance is, what your account can handle as far as losses based on your skill level. Like, it's huge. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it really opened my eyes. Now, mindset is a totally different thing. Psychology is a totally different thing, because even if you understand the pieces that you need in order to be successful, so understanding that, you know, I can't enter a trade until this happens. I can only risk this amount. Like, you still have those wild card moments where you may continue to enter a trade, a market execution order, you're losing. You stopped out of the other trade and you're just executing. In addition to understanding risk, in addition to knowing how to mark up your charts and knowing how to read what's going on the highest time frame all the way down to the lowest time frame, you have to have some level of discipline. And you have to be able to understand how to take emotion out of the picture. You have to be very intentional. You got to kind of be like a robot or a computer. If price does this, then I will do this. The other thing I think for a lot of people is, I think too many people take market execution orders, because I get emails about that too. People ask me, why you don't mark up charts live? One, I work a full-time job, right? And so on the weekends is when I get my work in. On the weekends is when I'm going through analyzing pairs and figuring out what setup makes the most sense for me, what setup has the lowest risk but the highest reward, what setup is going to take the least amount of margin but still give me the biggest amount of return. I don't trade like my cousin. And I keep referencing him because he's the closest person to me that understands this world, right? So I don't sit down at the charts when the market's open he trades like German 30 and US 30. I don't sit down at 9 a.m. and look for setups until 12. The work is done on the weekends. Most of my executions, I'm limiting or I'm stopping in. Most often I'm limiting. I feel it's the most safe for me. Stop is a little bit more risky. I feel like you can ride a little bit of a roller coaster more so than with a limit, but I'm limiting it, right? And so when the market opens on a Sunday and I've done that pre-work and I've recorded what trades I'm looking for, I've marked them up, I've journaled what makes sense to me, I've journaled where I'm supposed to be entering a zone, I've journaled what my stop loss should be, I understand what my take profit should be. When that market opens up on a Sunday night, I'm going in, I'm putting in the trade and I'm going to take for that week, or the trades that I'm going to take for that week, and I let it do its thing. Now, that's not to say that I don't look and check throughout the week, because I absolutely do. But there are some times where I get so busy that I forget. But I think that's the best way to trade, because you're not fiddling with the trade. You're not hopping in and out. You're not doubting your analysis. I think that's the biggest thing with babysitting trades, is that you begin to question your own analysis. When you marked it up on the computer this weekend, it made sense. But now you keep logging back in. Oh, maybe it ain't doing that. Or you listening to other people or looking on YouTube about what other creators have to say instead of sticking to your own analysis. That's the fourth point that I want to bring up, is that my game changed when I focused on me. I would check and see what such and such has to say about this setup. And it was not until my projection was correct and the person that I was relying on was wrong. But because they said it was going to go this way, I didn't execute. I didn't take advantage of what I thought was going to happen in the market. But I think that, again, goes back to being confident in yourself, understanding your analysis, and really being reliant upon yourself. So you definitely have to block out the noise and focus on you. The last thing that I want to say is keep things simple. Now, I know a lot of you guys look at my markups and you're probably like, it's just a whole bunch of lines. But for me, it's simple. And I know I keep referencing my cousin, but for him, he uses indicators and that works. But I think for me, and I know for me that keeping a very basic chart makes the most sense for me, and I can understand it from top to bottom. And so when you're starting out and you're trying to build this muscle, it makes sense to keep things simple. Now, does that mean that you can't bring in those extra indicators or tools later in the process? Absolutely not. You can certainly do that. But to get started, I think there's enough that you have to worry about already that you don't need to complicate things anymore. I highly suggest that if you don't take all these tips, I suggest that you take some of them and incorporate them into your routine, your process, and I promise you that you will see some level of improvement throughout your trading. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. If it was helpful to you, please consider sharing it with somebody else. And then also, if you're looking for content like this on a regular basis, make sure that you subscribe and you turn your notifications on. I try to put out videos once a week for you all. And then, as I mentioned before, my community is on pause. So what you can do is go ahead, click the link in the video description, submit your information, and when it does become back live, I will blast out to the people who signed up and let you guys know. But I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I hope you have a fantastic trading week, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.